talk about English, there are 4 skills you already know: listening, speaking, reading, writing. Whatever the skill may be, grammar is the important part. If you say you're listening to someone, you're listening to that person in a complete sentence. If you're reading something aloud from your text, again, it makes sense, complete sentences. Again, if you are writing in your book, again, sentence. So what I'm trying to tell you is, when you write something, when you say you're writing a complete sentence, listening, writing, reading, or speaking, you got to remember your grammar and practice. Knowing grammar, having book is not the important, but practice in speaking, writing, reading. So today we are going to do a little bit of grammar for you, and the most important that we are doing today is a sentence. When you say sentence, you know a group of words that begin with a capital letter, end with a question mark or a full stop or exclamation, that makes sense for not only for you what you write, but those who see it, those who listen and hear. So we are talking about, we are going to discuss about, we are going to work together the sentence. What is a sentence? A group of words that makes a complete sense. It begins with a capital letter, ends. And that's what we'll do a whole lot. As we go through it, you will understand better. Every exercise will help you to be better in your writing, in detecting a sentence, kind of sentence, parts of it, etc. Talking will not do, writing. So we'll work together. So we are going to do today the sentence, a sentence. Okay? Now, what is a sentence? A group of words, a sentence, a group of words, a group of words that makes that a group of words that makes complete sense. Is called a sentence. So, what is a sentence? A group of words that makes complete sense. It's called sentence. And that's what we are going to do. Okay? I will write out few sentences for you to understand what is group of words making complete sense. So to understand that, I'm going to put up a few sentences for you and me to read aloud. Hen lays eggs. Hen, one hen. So hen lays eggs. Birds, what do the birds do? Birds build. What do they build? Nest. Full stop. We begin a group of words that makes a complete sense is called a sentence. A sentence begins with a capital letter, ends with the full stop. Hen lays eggs. It makes sense. You have seen hen. What do? They lay. Birds build, all birds, they build nests. So it begins with the capital letter, ends with the full stop, and it makes sense. Complete sense. Next one, The trees are tall. The trees are tall. Begins with a cap letter, ends with a full stop. Birds fly in the air. Birds fly in the air. Full stop. Begins with a cap letter, ends with the full stop. A car a car has four wheels. Now, let's look at all these sentences once again. I said a sentence is a group of words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You cannot write in disorder. It has to be in order. Group of words that make complete sense. A car has four wheels. You begin the sentence with a cap letter and you will end it with a full stop. Now let's look at all the 5 words. A sentence. We have written 5 complete sentences that make sense. Hen lays eggs. I put lays because there's one single hen. Hen lays eggs. Ends with the full stop. Birds begin with a cap letter. Birds build nest. The cap letter. Trees are tall. Most of the trees are tall. Ends with the full stop. Birds fly in the air. Ends with the full stop. Begins with a cap letter. A car has 4 wheels. Begin with a cap letter. Ends with a full stop. Now you understood a little bit? A group of words. Now I cannot write lays, hen, egg. No. So remember, it has to have sense. The group of words. Okay, now these are group of words and these group of words do make sense. Okay? Do these group of words make sense? Yes. Because they make a sense and begins with a cap letter and ends with a full stop, we say these are sentences. We call this sentences. So when teacher asks you to write a sentence, a complete sentence, beginning with the cap letter and with the full stop, you can write hen lays eggs, the trees are tall, the car, whatever. But it should be. Now, we must always remember a sentence always begin with, that has to be in your mind. Okay? A sentence always begin with a sentence always begin with a capital letter. Capital letter. That we have to remember. That's what I have done. We begin with the capital. The second thing we have to remember, a sentence ends with a full stop. It can be a full stop, a question mark, exclamation, whatever. Something has to be the end. So, capital letter. It ends, these two you must remember, it ends with a full stop. Full stop. You must remember this is very important and capital letter very important. I'm sure if you look at your notebook, the teacher would have put capital for the sentence. She would have put a full stop where you forget to put. So a sentence begins with a capital letter, ends with the full stop, and it should make a complete sense. Only then you can call that a sentence. Now, I will write another set of sentences for you, and you and I together will correct it. Keeping in mind, capital letter, full stop. Okay? Now, first one. How kind of you. How kind of you. Now, we can have to make changes so that capital letter, full stop. How will you write it? Capital letter. A sentence begin with a capital letter. So how will you write? How, H. So we are changing that small capital. How kind. How kind of you. And end with a full stop. So we begin and we end. It does not begin with a capital letter. It does not end. So we have written here, how kind of you, begins with the capital letter and ends with the full stop. The second one, can I have your pen? Can I have your pen? Now we have to make correction. Can. A sentence begin with the capital letter. So, can I have your pen? Ends with the your pen, and after the pen ends with the full stop. You see that? So we followed both the rules. Begin with the sentence, begin the sentence with the capital letter, end with the full stop. And the third exercise I have here for you is the dog chased the cat. Now let's make the correction. We must begin with the capital letter, we must end with the full stop. The T capital, the dog chased the cat. Again, capital letter, full stop. And finally we have, what is your name? The fourth one I have here is, what is your name? What is your name? The correction, W capital letter, what is your name? Now here you don't, for a question you do not put a full stop, but instead of that you put a question mark, a small change for you to understand. So that's what we have done. So what have we done now? We have done, what is a sentence? A sentence is a group of words that makes complete sense. And we have done few sentences here to understand what is a sentence. Now when you talk about sentence, we start the sentence always, you must remember, begins with a capital letter, ends with a full stop. And here you have a question mark. If it is a question, you end the question with a question mark. Okay? Now here we have done 4 sentences trying to understand all sentences begin with a capital letter, all sentences end with a question mark or full stop. Now you understood what is the meaning of sentence? When writing, be careful. Begin with the capital letter, end with the full stop, question mark, whatever.